I'm outside of my fitness coach's office. I have a fitness coach because I do CrossFit and I am notoriously bad at remembering to eat. So he keeps me accountable. Um, and that'll become relevant for the topic that I want to talk to you about right now, which is one of the mistakes that I said that I saw B2B marketing agencies make, which is charging by the hour. I think that the amount of hours that you spend into producing a result is always an internal metric. That means that it's something that is for you as your business to use to measure operational efficiency. Meaning, are you doing the amount of work in such a fashion that you're still profitable, and so and so. It should never be something that you bring to the negotiation table if you're providing professional services. Because I believe that the thing that you should be aiming to do is to get them the result. And your client doesn't want to pay by the hour. The client doesn't care how long you take to get the result. I mean, obviously, they need the result within a certain time frame, but the amount of hours that you spend on getting them the result, to them, ultimately is irrelevant. They have a result, or they have a problem, and that has a certain value, and it needs to be solved, and solving that problem is worth something. And if you can solve that problem in 2 hours or 20 hours is ultimately irrelevant for the client, as long as he gets it solved within a reasonable time frame. But I'll hear you say, if you're a service provider or an agency, I need to measure by the hour or charge by the hour because some clients take more work than others. Some clients ask me to do more things and I never quite know exactly how much work is going to come out of it. So I have to offer like a budget of hours for them to work with. See, the problem there is not that you should do that same thing and charge by the hour and not charge by the hour. The problem is that you don't know what you're going to do for every client. This is kind of a thought experiment, right? So bear with me. You shouldn't charge by the hour, but you should also make sure that not every client is different, because that's a problem. If every client is different, then yes, I agree with you. Charging by the hour makes sense because you never know what you can expect. But if you never know what you're going to expect, that's a problem. So what you should do is make sure that every client is the same. And now I'll hear you say, but I have a marketing agency. There's a lot of different clients that I serve. There's a lot of different services that I have. So how do I make every client the same? Well, it's quite simple, You need to work with what I like to call the power of one. Solve one problem for one client with one solution. And always do that the same way. And only then can you start to charge value-based pricing, which is the opposite of charging by the hour. Because if you solve one problem, then I'm assuming that if the problem is always the same, you can start building a system, right? And a system is always the same. So the system, when you do it always the same, you can charge always the same price for it. And because it's always the same, this has huge benefits for the rest of your organization. If you're always doing the same thing, you never have to write custom proposals. If you're always doing the same thing, you never have to buy new resources. You never have to figure out how to solve a new problem for a new client. Your people, your team, if there's a team, will always know exactly what to do. They will never have to sort of search and spend a lot of time learning new stuff. You'll never have to hire new people and then let them go again when other projects require different expertises. And you'll attract better clients as well, because you will ultimately, when you become really good at solving one particular problem for one particular type of client, those clients will know how to find you better. So ultimately, this is just a really long sort of rambling, I suppose, about how to get away from charging by the hour and why charging by the hour is not the best way to run your inbound marketing agency or any other type of services business, really. And it just dawned to me that I pressed the stop button before I explained why the fitness thing was relevant for this. Fitness coaches or life coaches or you know, other type of people who try to get you into shape somehow are a great example of this, because in their world, and not all fitness coaches do this yet, although I think they should, it's really easy to find one problem to solve, right? So a fitness coach may say, well, I'll help you lose 10 kilograms in, 3 months, for example, right? And then they have a fixed process for doing that, to get you that result. Because they have the fixed process and they have the fixed problem that they fix for a particular type of people, they're also able to attract more of those people. So fitness coaches are a great example of how you can put that into practice, right? Find one problem to solve, build one system to solve that problem, and then scale your business from there.